Hello, myself, Mr. Somsekhar Ganigir. I am working as assistant professor in Mechanical Engineering Department, Imperial College of Engineering and Research, Wagholi, Pune. So today we will be seeing the experiment on how we can measure the holding torque of a epicyclic gear train. So before a student wants to perform or understand this experiment, there are certain prerequisites he should be knowing. So let us see first which are those. First, he should know the basic understanding of gear train. What is a gear train? He should know. Gear train is nothing but a combination of gears by which you can reduce or increase the velocity ratio, or you can transmit the power and motion. Also, the student should be knowing which are the different types of gear trains. Simple gear trains, compound, reverted and epicyclic. A simple gear train is one in which each shaft will be carrying only one gear. A compound gear train is one in which each shaft will be carrying more than one gear. Reverted is a special case of a compound gear train where the axis of input shaft and output shaft will be along the same line. And lastly, today's our interesting gear, that is epicyclic gear train. In this one, we will be having certain arrangement like sun and planet or epicyclic in nature. So for this we are going to find the holding torque. These are the prerequisites. Then this thing also the student should know before conducting this experiment. The concept of epicyclic gear train or working he should be knowing. The epicyclic gear train consists of a sun gear which will be acting as the input gear and the arm which carries the planet gears. The input is sun gear, output is the arm carrying the planets. This is encompassed by one internal gear called as the annular gear. Annular gear will be having the internal teeth. Now what is holding torque is, if I want to stop only this outer internal gear and at the same time if all other gears are rotating, the torque required to be applied on this internal gear will be our holding torque. Again, the student should be knowing which are the different torques that are acting in case of a epicyclic gear train. Input torque, output torque and the holding torque. The torque carried by this input shaft connected to the sun will be input torque. The torque carried by this arm shaft will be the output torque. Holding torque, the torque required to stop this annular gear. This is the holding torque. One more thing is the holding torque will be the difference of input torque and output torque. All these things the student should be knowing before conducting this experiment. Now coming to today's objective, I want to measure the holding torque of a epicyclic gear train. Means what? I want to find how much amount of torque or load I need to apply on this internal gear to make this one stop. If I want to stop this annular gear, how much amount of force or torque I need to apply, I need to find. How I can find? If I am putting a braking arrangement on this, if I am putting a belt drive and if I am applying certain load, then for a particular load the annular gear comes to rest. I can say that will be our holding torque. Like this we can find practically. And if I want to find theoretically, how will you finding? Simply I will find how much is input torque and output torque. The difference of these two will be our holding torque. Now this is our experimental setup which is from our actual laboratory from our department. So this is the epicyclic gear train. Inside this will be having sun, planet, arm, everything. This is a DC motor which will be giving power to the sun gear, that is input, and the output shaft is connected to this pulley which is also having a braking arrangement, and there is one braking arrangement or loading arrangement on the epicyclic gear train also, or the annular gear. Whatever the outer portion, we can see that is our internal gear. And you can see that we will be having one voltmeter, ammeter, and this controlling knob from which we can increase or decrease the speed of the motor. And these two are the spring balance to account for the loads on the epicyclic as well as on the output shaft. Now let us see what is our experimental procedure. Arrange the spring balance at 0 condition. Initially we will be making all the things free, means we will be putting no load on the spring balance. Then switch on the main supply. Adjust the motor speed at a particular RPM. Then we will be waiting for the system to be stabilized. Start the experiment by loading the pulley in stepwise manner, starting with 0, and note down the reading required to stop the epicyclic gear train. Initially we will be putting certain load, let us say 0.5 kg of load on the output shaft, and then what we will do is we will go on applying the load on the epicyclic gear train till it comes to rest. When it comes to rest at that particular position, we will be taking the readings. Which are the readings? I will be measuring the input speed, output speed using the tachometer. Also I will be noting the voltage and current readings using voltmeter and ammeter. These readings I will be taking. Now if I want to go for the next reading, let us say 1 kg. I will apply 1 kg of the load on the output shaft. Then I will go on tightening the epicyclic gear train using the spring balance till it comes to rest. When it comes to rest at this position, I will be taking the second reading. I will be measuring input speed, output speed, voltage, current. Note the readings, then repeat the procedure for different loads on the pulley. This is our observation table. Now we will see how these are the actual readings taken on the machine. Initially we will be putting a load of 0.5 kg on the output pulley. Then I will go on tightening the epicyclic gear train. Say for 2 kg of the load on the epicyclic, it is coming to rest. At this position, I will be taking the second reading. I will measure the input speed, output speed, voltage, current. This is the first set of reading. Similarly, second. For second, what change will be there? Instead of 0.5, I will be putting a load of 1 kg on the output shaft pulley. Then I will be again tightening the belt on the whole epicyclic till it comes to rest and take all these readings. Similarly, 1.5 kg and 2 kg on the output shaft pulley. Like this we will be taking the readings. So once we take the readings, we will be performing the calculations. And how we will be taking the readings actually in the practical, I will be explaining with the actual experimental setup. So good morning. So today we will be seeing the experiment on epicyclic gear train. Now this apparatus is called as the epicyclic gear train. In this one we can see that this is the DC motor, and this particular part will be called as the epicyclic gear train, and this will be the input shaft of the epicyclic gear train, and this is the output shaft of the epicyclic gear train. It is connected to the pulley like this. Now on this epicyclic we are having a loading arrangement using this belt here. Then on this output shaft, that is the pulley, we are having the loading arrangement using this spring balance. Now the epicyclic gear train will be consisting of sun, planet and the arms. The input shaft will be always connected to the sun gear and the output shaft will be always connected to the arm which is carrying the planet gears. In this one there are 3 planet gears, 1 sun and 1 arm. The arm is connected to the output shaft which is connected to this pulley. Now when we are operating this DC motor, we can start the motor like this. Now you can see that it is rotating. So if we are making this output shaft free, that is by loosening this spring, and if we are operating, we can see that this output shaft is also now rotating, is it not? Now at the same time I loosen this also. Now you can see that all the things are rotating, that is input shaft, epicyclic gear train and the output shaft. So there is one term called as the holding torque. So holding torque is basically the torque required to only stop the epicyclic gear train. Now to understand this holding torque, if you are looking here, if I am holding this one tightly, and if I rotate this output shaft, we can see that I can rotate the output shaft, but still this epicyclic gear train is not rotating. Then how it will be getting the motion? See, in this one we will be having sun gear that is connected to the input shaft and it is having the arms. So holding torque is defined as the torque required to stop this epicyclic gear train while this output shaft is rotating. So to understand this, suppose I am starting the motor. Now it is rotating with certain speed. Now if I go on increasing the load on this epicyclic gear train, now you can see that this is stopped, epicyclic gear train, input shaft is rotating and the output shaft is also rotating. So the whatever torque I am applying, that is the torque applied at this end. How I can measure this one? That will be measured by spring balance mass M. Suppose it is 0.75 kgs. 0.75 into 9.81 into its radius. Like this I can find the holding torque. Now because the power remains same, whatever the input power is there, the same power will be transmitted to the output shaft. If we are neglecting the friction, then what happens is the sum of powers of this will be divided to this and some part to this. Now to find the input torque, I can find the input power. How we can find the input power? See, it is a DC motor and here you can see that we are having voltmeter and ammeter attached. So when we are operating, you can see that we will be having certain readings on this voltage and current. So if I am multiplying these two, I will be getting the input torque. Now by using a tachometer applied at this end, I can find the speed of this DC motor. So once I find the power and speed, by using the equation P equal to 2 pi nt by 60, we can find the input torque. So like this I am finding the input torque. Now let us see how we can find the output torque. So to find the output torque, we can use this spring balance. See, if I am attaching say up to this level. Now what is the spring balance reading? Say it is, how much is this one? 1. See, now it is, let us say we have adjusted this one to 1.5 kgs. So the spring balance is showing 1.5. So to find the output torque, how we can find 1.5 kgs into 9.81 into radius of this rotating pulley. So like this we can find the output torque. The input torque minus output torque will be equal to the holding torque. So like this, in this experiment we will be finding the holding torque. Now let us define holding torque. Holding torque is the torque required to stop only the annular gear of a epicyclic gear train. See, this outer part is called as the annular gear. So it will be having the internal tip. That will be always equal to input torque minus output torque. So this is the background of this experiment. Now to start with the experiment, I will be showing the reading columns in the theory part, or I will be sharing the lab manual later. Now for practical procedure, what we have to do is, first we have to apply zero load on this output shaft. That is, we will make free this one completely. So now it is having no load. Then we will be making this also free. Then we will start the motor and keep a certain speed. Now at this speed what we will do is, we will go on applying the load on the epicyclic gear train. Say at this location, at this point of load, what happens? The epicyclic gear train is stopped. Is it not? Now this will be the holding condition. Now we are holding the epicyclic gear train. At this point we have to note down emitter and voltmeter readings, input speed, then output speed, and what load we are applying on the epicyclic gear train. This much you have to note down. So this will be your first reading. Then to go for the second reading, again you have to free all the things. Then you have to apply say 0.5 load on this output shaft. We will be applying say 0.5 load on the output shaft. Then we will repeat the same procedure. Means what? I will go on applying the load at the epicyclic gear train till it comes to rest. So now it is coming to rest side. At this location we will be noting the emitter voltmeter readings, because from that we will find the power. Then we will be noting the input speed, then output speed. So like this we will be going on, can go on taking new readings where I will be applying certain load on the output shaft. Now the load is 0.5 kg. Next I will apply 1.5 and 2. Up to 2 kg it can take. So for these 4 readings we will be repeating the same procedure and taking the readings. Now what we can observe is, this is the input torque, that will remain same. Then this is the output torque. When we are increasing the load on this one, this output torque will be increased. Holding torque is input torque minus output torque. So when we are applying certain load on this output shaft, what happens? The holding torque will be reduced. So when in the first case, when it is free, at that time, suppose we are applying say 2 kgs of load on the epicyclic to hold it, and in the next case if I am applying 1 kg, in the second case the load required to hold will be lesser than the first case, because input torque is same but output torque is increased. So like this, by this experiment we can see that the meaning of holding torque and the procedure to find this. Thank you. So after taking the readings like this, we have got the table. We are having the input speed, output speed, voltage, current, load on pulley, holding torque or holding load. All these things we have got by experimentation. Now let us see how we can do the theoretical calculations. First we have to find the input power. Input power can be found by the product of voltage and current. So I am getting 233.68 watts. Once I find input power, I am interested in finding input torque. Why? Because the holding torque is the difference of input torque and the output torque. Input torque, how we can find? We are having P equal to 2 pi nt by 60 equation. Then by using the same equation I can find the input torque. I am getting say P I have put in watts, N RPM, will be getting 1.39 Newton meters. Then how we can find output torque? Output torque or the output shaft is the rightmost shaft which is having a pulley, and the mass of that pulley is known, that is 0.5 kgs. Radius of that is known, that is 0.05 meters, and G. So those many Newton meters will be the output torque. It is 0.245 Newton meter for the first reading. Therefore, the holding torque can be found as input torque minus output torque. So it will be 1.145 Newton meters. So this is for a sample calculation for the first reading. Similarly, I will be doing the remaining 3 sets of calculations, and finally we will be getting a result like this. This is our input torque, output torque, and the holding torque. This is input torque, output torque, and the holding torque. So you can see that as I am increasing the output torque, say initially it was 0.245, at that time holding torque was 1.145. When I am increasing this output torque, the holding torque has decreased. So as this increases, it is decreasing, and input torque is almost all constant because I am using the same amount of voltage, current, and speed. Means the holding torque being the difference of input torque and output torque. As this output torque increases, the holding torque will be decreasing. So once a student perform this experiment, we can evaluate, or he can self-evaluate by asking these types of questions. How we can find the holding torque? What answer we can expect? Holding torque can be found experimentally as well as theoretically, as explained in the previous things. And what is a epicyclic gear train? And what is tabular method to find or analyze the epicyclic gear trains? The epicyclic gear trains are not as simple as the regular gear trains. only by counting the number of teeth we cannot find what is the velocity ratio in case of epicyclic gear trains. For that we will be requiring a special method called as a tabular method. The student should be knowing this also after conducting the experiment. Now, what are the conclusions we are drawing from this experiment? First one, epicyclic gear train is in equilibrium under influence of three torques: input, output and holding torque. So there will be three torques: input, output and holding torque. Holding torque is equal to the difference between input torque and output torque. Even if the annular gear is stopped, the motion can be transmitted from input shaft to the output shaft. See, the advantage of this annular gear is because of there are a large number of rolling elements with a higher pair, we can transmit a larger amount of torque at a lesser speed. And this type of gearboxes are finding wide applications in heavy machineries, tractors and many other things. So this is regarding our epicyclic gear train experiment. So thank you for watching.